Hello everybody, welcome to GIS Pathshala Social Science Grade 8 When the People Rebel 1857 and after. See, this is the first war of Indian people against the Britishers, and because of some of the reasons people failed in this war. Otherwise it is said that by the historians and all people that during that time only the Britishers should leave India, but that time the technologies were, some of the things were not there, people were, all the people were not of, aware of the things, and some of the people didn't join also. Like that, the many causes are there, many things were there that make the this event a failure. But this event also affect the Britishers, and then Britishers came to know that we should not think like that. The Indian people cannot be a together. They can fight for their freedom, or they can fight for their things together also. This type of impact was there in the mind of the Britishers after this event of 1857. See, 1857 is also counted as revolts against Raj. Raj means the total power under one, that is the Raj. The revolt of 1857 is considered a very important thing in the Indian history. And outside there also, in foreigners also, those who are studying the world history and all the things, they are referring this again and again. Now see, many causes are there for the revolt. These are the causes for the revolt. Political causes are there, military causes are there, social causes are there, religious causes are, and economic causes are there. Means all these things are affected, and people felt that these things are not proper. These are against some of the our dignities and all the things. So because of these all causes, people fought against the Britishers. Now see, the policies of the East India Company had a long lasting effect on different people in India. They were kings, queens, peasants, landlords, tribals, soldiers, etc. We have seen that all are affected under the policy of the British rule, Britishers. People resisted to the policies and actions that harmed their interest or went against their sentiments. See, people are resisted to the policies and actions that harmed their interests and well went against their sentiments. So, like that, policies, and we have seen also that people resist policies and action that harm their interests and go there against their sentiments. Now, since we have seen the what things were happened since the mid 18th century, Nawabs and Rajas had seen their power. Nawabs and Rajas had seen their power. Erode, they had lost their power, authority, and honor. Residents have been sanctioned in many courts. The freedom of the rulers reduced. See, residents had been sanctioned in many courts, and freedom of the rulers reduced. Their armed disturbed, disturbed, and their revenues and territories were taken away by stages. Their revenue and all the things were taken away. See, their armed forces disbanded. Their armed forces disbanded. Means you see, the mostly the power of the king was taken away by the Britishers. Only the king was there only for the namesake that the king was there. Rani Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi wanted the company to recognize her adopted son as the heir to the kingdom after the death of her husband. See, many of the rulers met also to the Britishers for the negotiation part of the things, but the Britishers were not ready. See, Rani Lakshmi Bai also went, and she also suggested that please adopt my son for the heir of the kingdom. Nana Sahib, the adopted son of Peshwa Bajirao too, pleaded that he be given his father's pension when the latter died. However, the company, confident of its superiority and military powers, turned down these bills. In 1801, a subsidiary alliance was imposed on Awadh, and in 1856 it was taken away. Governor General Dalhousie declared that the territory was being misgoverned and British rule was needed to ensure proper administration. See, they annexed those of the cities, Satara, Sambalpur, Awadh, all the places were annexed by the, that they were saying that the administration was not for namesake, the king was there, so now we want to do the proper administration. Like that, they annex Awadh also. see, this type of things happen slowly, and the company even began to plan how to bringing the Mughal dynasty to end. See, Mughal dynasty was there, Mughals were there, so now company was thinking that we have to bring down the Mughal empire also, bring to an end of the Mughal empire. The name of the Mughal king was removed from the coins minted by the company. See, the name of the Mughal kings, they started removing the name of the Mughal kings. In 1849, Governor General Dalhousie announced that after the death of Bahadur Shah Zafar, the family of the king would be shifted out to the Red Fort and given another place in Delhi to reside in. In 1856, Governor General Canning decided that Bahadur Shah Zafar would be the last Mughal empire, and after his death, none of his descendants would be recognized as kings. They would just be called the prince. See, totally they denied that now the son of Bahadur Shah Zafar did not be a king. They were known as the prince only. So like that they started bringing to the end of the Mughal empire also, Mughal dynasty also. Now the peasants and sepais, see, you know that peasants were also tired, Sipais are also having the problems in this all. In the countryside, peasants and zamindars resented the high taxes and the rigid method of revenue collection. Rigid method of revenue collection. Many failed to pay back their loans to the money lenders and gradually lost the lands they had tilled for generations. The Indian Sipa in the employ of the company also had reasons for discontent. Now, what happened that you have seen that the Permanent Settlement Act was there, Rayatwari system was there, Malwari system was there. Those all systems were looking as a golden chance from outside, but when the originally when the those things were implemented, the problems were there. Peasants were losing their land. The lands were the no they were lost. They lost their lands also. From the generations they were having the land, but in these things they lost their land also, so now they were also unhappy. The company passed a new law which stated that every new person who took up employment in the company's army had to agree to serve overseas if required. See, now those who are working in the company army, they have to work for overseas also. Sipai also reacted to what was happening in the countryside. Many of them were peasants and had to families living in the villages. So the anger of the peasants quickly spread among the Sipais also. See, in 1824, the Sipais were told to go to Burma to buy Burma by the sea route to fight for the company. They refused to follow the order. Though they agreed to go by the land route, they were severely punished, and since the issue did not die down. See, the Sipais were ready to work for the company, but they were severely punished. They were unhappy about their pay, allowances, and condition of service. Sipais. The new rules, moreover, violated their religious and sensibilities and beliefs. In those days, many people believed that if they crossed the sea, they would lose their religion and caste. See, some of the religious beliefs were there that they could not cross the sea, and they were saying that Britishers were saving in they were serving the British army. They have to go to overseas. In 1824, the Sipai were told to go to Burma by sea route to fight for the company. When they refused, they were severely punished. In 1856, the company passed a new law which stated that every person who took up employment in the companies had to agree to serve overseas if required. Sipais reacted to what happening in the countryside. Many of them were peasants and families living in the villages, so the anger of all peasants spread among the sepoys. So because of such type of things, the peasants and sepoys were also against the Britishers. You have seen how the kings were there. They were now for the namesake only, and most of the things the rights were taken by the kings. So they were also against the Britishers. Responses from reformers. The British believed that the Indian society had to be reformed. Okay, many of the laws were like that. So Britishers were thinking that reforming should be there. Laws were passed to stop the practice of sati to encourage widow remarriage. See, sati law was banned. Sati pratha was banned because it was a that was coming from the since long time, and Raja Ram Mohan Rai worked hard for that. One incident Raja Ram Mohan Rai seen in front of him from that time only. He was trying hard. He thought that from the very small age, he thought that I want to ban this system in the society. So he worked hard. He met many of the people, and at last he got the success, and the Sati Pratha was banned by the Britishers. Then the next one, English encouraged education was actively promoted. English language education was actively promoted. So people were thinking that all are running towards the English language, and our native languages were now getting the less important. After 1830, the company allowed the Christian missionaries to function freely in its domain and even own land and property. In 1850, a new law was passed to make conversion to Christianity more easily. So any person that want to change the from Hindu to Christian, immediately they can do. This was allowed to Indian who had converted to Christianity to inherit property of his ancestors. Many Indians began to feel that the British were destroying their religion, their social custom, and their traditional way of life. See, now these type of things are happening. During that time, many people were thinking that Britishers were forcing Indians to convert in the Christianity, and majority of Indian feeling that this was against our religion, our tradition, and the social custom. So these are the things. These are creating the negative impact in the mind of the Indian people for the Britishers. So they are against the Britishers. Now mutiny becomes a popular revolt. A very large number of people being in to believe that they have a common enemy and rise up against the enemy at the same time. After 100 years of conquest and administration, the company faced the massive rebellion that started in May 1857 and threatened the company's very presence in India. Company's very presence in India. Sipai's unity in several places beginning from Meerut, and a large number of people from different sections of the society rose up in rebellion. Some regard it is the biggest armed resistance to colonialism in the 19th century in the world. See, this is the biggest armed resistance to the colonialism in the 19th century in the world. See, during that time, many places were in the colonial rule of some of the other states. Britishers, or somewhere the Britishers were in Germany, or in the Germany, France side also the colonialism were there. Many places the colonialism was there. So this is the regard as it is the biggest armed resistance to colonialism in the 19th century in the world. And now we will see further regarding the how the revolt started, who took the active part in the revolt, what was the things, the events in the revolt of 1857. Thank you.